I am leaving for work. Today is one of those days where I woke up feeling like I wish I hadn't woken up, but I gotta make money, so that's what I'm doing. I don't have anything planned for later today. I am gonna be doing the Foodie Friday tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna dine in anywhere. I'll probably order the food, pick it up, and film the vlog in my car, just like this. Maybe I'll do like the camera up here, I don't know. But that's it for now. Traffic's really bad today, so I'm gonna share my opinion on the Hyde V Idubbbz controversy. So for those of you that don't know, which is all of you probably, all 6 of you, Hyde is a like semi-alt-right content creator who does shock comedy and, you know, irony is his brand. And he used to have an Adult Swim show for a little while. He's been a YouTube creator for a long time, and he does like the pretty much just absurdist things that he tries to, you know, just get people to get a reaction out of him. And I guess Idubbbz has been watching Sam Hyde stuff for a long time, and he got the opportunity to make a documentary, Idubbbz's third documentary, on Sam Hyde. And there's gonna be some spoilers in this, so if you don't want the Idubbbz documentary spoiled for you, then don't watch this. In fact, this is semi-long and obnoxious, so anyone, it's fairly easy to skip in the video. I have the sections of the vlog sectioned out, so you can just skip over this whole section. But essentially, Sam Hyde set up an elaborate prank on Idubbbz where he rented out a little shitty building, put all of his employees and friends, he has like employee friends, one of those situations, in this little tiny one room with a table and computers and stuff. And they bought like, one of them had like lean, essentially, where he was pretending to be a rapper who drinks lean. One of them, you know, a bunch of them were drinking all sorts of stuff, and he hired some girl to be his fake girlfriend, and she shaved her head and was taking pills and said a bunch of stuff to Idubbbz about Sam. Now, Idubbbz, if you've seen his previous 2 documentaries, his goal is to get what's going on behind the scenes of these YouTubers. So if Sam Hyde's putting on a show or an act, and here I am just now getting past the traffic, it's just one truck stopped in the right lane. Actually, I'm in one of the middle lane. So Idubbbz's goal with the documentary is literally to see behind the scenes of the YouTube creators. And Sam Hyde's goal for the documentary was to make funny, according to him, to make funny content for Idubbbz fans, which in his opinion, and his co-worker's opinion, was to pretend to be not who they are and see Idubbbz's reaction to the shit they're doing. And it seemed to me like it was pretty obvious to Idubbbz at first, when he goes in, that it's all an act, it's obviously not real. I definitely didn't think it was real. And then even if you thought about it logically, they have, the way Sam Hyde currently does his stuff, he has like sets. He has a recording studio for the podcast that he does. He has, you know, without, if you didn't see what you've seen in his YouTube videos, where you were real life, it should be pretty obvious that it was all a joke. But Idubbbz acts like Sam Hyde is serious the whole time. Like it's Sam Hyde's fake character. Like, Sam Hyde is just being a method actor. And I'm like, it seems pretty obvious to me that Sam Hyde is joking here. And Idubbbz brings that up later on, and he's like, don't you think it's, some of your fans might not be able to tell when you're joking and when you aren't? Because, for example, he says, like, fuck Asians and stuff like that. Like, he's just saying alt-right, racist things. And the defense is that he's joking and it's funny. And then Idubbbz is making the argument that some of his fans hear the racist stuff and believe it. And Sam Hyde is alt-right, so it probably is, there's real racism behind it. It's not just an act, but, I think people recognize when he's putting on a character, and they can pick up on a little bit of racism in the background while also being aware that he's putting on a character. There's going to be some people that don't know he's putting on a character, but, that's just the way it is. So, anyways, on the third day, Idubbbz is there for like a week, and on the third day, Sam Hyde finally is like, okay, it was all an act. We were faking it this whole time, this whole 2 days. It's kind of been a waste of your time, is how Idubbbz felt about it. And then also, Idubbbz revealed to Sam Hyde at this like exact same point that his first interaction with Sam Hyde was a reaction video to something that Sam Hyde made, and then Sam Hyde hit him with a copyright strike, and Idubbbz was bitter about that back in the day, but was, according to him, no longer upset about it and was going to try to make an honest documentary. And Sam Hyde now feels like, okay, so Idubbbz is making a hit piece about me, and Idubbbz now feels like Sam Hyde is, wasting my time putting on a fake thing. And then from this point on, Idubbbz is there for like another 4 days or something, and he barely interacts with Sam because, according to him, it's because Sam didn't want to. He'd always make up like excuses. And then Sam, to me, I know that Sam obviously didn't make an effort to see Idubbbz one-on-one after that point. But if you watch the few times that Sam is there, with the group of friends, it feels to me like he's no longer in that character that he was playing. Yes, he sometimes goes into it. Like, basically what happened was Sam released his footage about a month ago, and Idubbbz released his documentary today, or like yesterday. And Sam, a month ago, wasn't sure if Idubbbz even would release the footage because it had been almost a year since they filmed it. So that's why he released his stuff. And I'm like, Idubbbz, it's hard for him to be in that situation and have the responsibility to get the information. Like, he has to draw it out of Sam. But in my opinion, in that following footage for those last few days, the few times where Sam and Idubbbz were in the same space with Sam's crew, Sam looked like he was being his genuine self. His genuine self being a quiet, guy that has a lot of thoughts, and sometimes he'll jump into that character, while that's just who he is. That's a lot of people do that. And I don't know. I don't have a definitive opinion on like anyone being right or wrong. I don't think there's any of that going on. I just think there's two conflicting goals. Idubbbz wanted to make a behind-the-scenes documentary, and Sam didn't really want his behind-the-scenes to be revealed, but he kind of did reveal it, and that you get to see what's going on behind the scenes, except for the fact that you don't get to see his actual office. They didn't want that shown in the documentary, and I feel like that's something that maybe they could have worked on before Idubbbz even showed up. Like, I need a itemized list of things that we're going to be able to show in the documentary and things we aren't going to be able to show in the documentary. Maybe they did have that, I don't know. You don't get to see the whole behind the scenes, but that's my opinion on the whole thing, is that neither of them were right or wrong. And I think it was interesting content. Sam made a 2-hour video about it. Ida's made a 1-hour documentary, and if the both of them were entertaining. I spent 3 of my hours yesterday